Hi there, Tammy Mulcahy. I'm here again with Lori Cloutier of the Plastic Solutions Task Force of SRAG, Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. And last time we covered the concept of working within your community, checking out what your community resources are, and start local, and that has a global impact.
When it comes to plastic, what's really recyclable?
We all get confused because we are told that if it has a triangle on it and it has a number inside, that somehow that can go into recycling.
It depends entirely on your local material recovery facility and what their markets are. Because if nobody is buying a type of plastic, then there is no reason for them to do anything other than put it into landfill. They might be required to accept it for recycling, but if they can't sell it, what happens? It stacks up, it fills their warehouses, and there's no place for it to go.
And that's a concept that I've even thought about. I think of like, you have your local garbage companies, they're a small business. And that business has to take this material and find a way to sell it or find it a home, right? And you were talking about what markets these garbage companies have available to them. What are the plastics that are the most marketable?
You will see in very generic terms that ones and twos are probably your safest bet. But the problem is, number two in the wrong shape or design cannot be handled and may even hurt your local recycler. A perfect example of that are those plastic bags. They're a number two, but they're a number two film, and they get caught in the teeth. And I have pictures of people with sawzalls trying to get those bags out of the teeth of the recycling equipment. So the whole thing shuts down while these plastic bags are taken out of the cogs of the machinery so that they can start up again. So you will see an awful lot of recyclers saying, don't put plastic bags in recycling. Don't put your recyclables in plastic bags. You mentioned last time we spoke.
That's just one more single-use plastic bag that hurts machines and goes to landfill. Mixed recycling should be placed loose inside your bin, not in a bag.
So it depends on the shape and whether it can travel through a recycling facility and get melted down or flaked or whatever it is that they're going to do so that they can sell it to processors who can turn it into manufactured items. The problem is, Tammy, imagine you had a business where you did all this work and your recycled plastic cost more than virgin plastic. That has been changing in the last few months as oil prices increase. The markets for recycled resins start to improve.
So ones and twos are generally the most recyclable, and it depends on the shape. So if I go into the grocery store and I want to buy a thing of dish soap, and I look at the bottom and it's a number 4 or 5, and I look over here and here's another one that says it's a 1 or a 2, that's one of the easy things that people can do to say, well, my chances of this one that has a 1 or 2 is actually going to be recyclable. Try to pick those products.
That sounds like a good strategy.
As for those plastic bags, if you must.
The place you can take bags is often to your grocery stores. Yeah. They are an example of a product that messes up recycling, yet if you have them they're the only thing that somebody is buying is plastic bags. Companies like Trex or other companies that are asking for polyethylene film products. If you put plastic bags into your recycling thing, unless your local recycler has said, yes, we can handle plastic bags, we want them, and I don't know of any that do, I would just be very careful, and when in doubt, find out or throw it out. So my bags of bags go to the grocery store where they go on the trucks, they take all that polyethylene film, bag it up, and they get paid for it. Let's be clear. It's not as much money as they are going to pay for people to deal with it, but it is the right thing to do. They get maybe 6 to 8 cents a pound. At least it helps. And part of the income stream they depend on is us paying them, because only then is recycling profitable if people are paying to have it recycled and then whatever small amount they can get from the recycled material itself. Both of those sources of income make it work. And that's one reason recycling is hard. It's not a high value material like aluminum. And here's the worst part. Plastic can only be recycled 1 or 2, maybe 3 times. And then it's going to be going on to landfill anyway.
Hi, I'm a water bottle. I'll be around for about 450 years. Hi, I'm a plastic bag. I get reborn as microplastics in about 15 years.
So typically, do you know where those water bottles go? The PET, number 1 in the triangle, those are often turned into fibers. So clothing and carpeting and things like that. They don't go back into making new plastic bottles yet. That would be true recycling. Most of what we casually call recycling is actually downcycling. It's going from one level of plastic to a lower level of plastic. And eventually those polymers are going to be messed up by the repeated heating of recycling. But it's a little bit like paper recycling. The fibers get shorter and shorter each time paper is recycled. But paper can be recycled many more times. In fact, the markets for paper are strong. A lot of recycled paper goes into making cardboard. And during COVID, an awful lot of us started getting more and more of our things in cardboard boxes.
Yes, I understand that. You talked about how we were going to dive a little bit into the myth of recycling. Only 9% of all plastic is being recycled. 9%. So it's heartbreaking when you work so hard to get everything recycled, and then you hear that only 9% of it is actually being recycled. Worldwide, 1 million plastic bottles are sold every minute. The number sold yearly increased to 583 billion in 2021. 86% of disposable water bottles used in the United States become garbage or litter, adding 38 billion in U.S. landfills. So start trying to think of your buying products. Just make some more active choices when you do that.